I needed another small reel, and the well-known Chinese website Temu bugged me enough with adverts and vouchers and promotions that I went on the app, bought some random bits and bobs and even a reel because I got it quite cheap. So it is a Kastking Zephyr in size 1000. Perfect for what I do, which is light rock fishing, light spinning, chub fishing, perch fishing. And I really like the colour. Anything black, especially matte black with a bit of silver, right up my street. EVA foam handle, always love those. That's why I really like the pen reels. First impressions out of the box, I mean, I really like it. It looks great. I love this kind of skeleton spool. Really like deep, crisp drag to it. Nice knob on the top, looks decent, a lot of powder coated metal, which is good. The Fox reel I had was mostly plastic and all the graphics came off. It looked pretty tatty pretty quickly. Bail arm seems to take quite a bit of force to get it to come down if that's how you fish, although most of us manually put the bail arm on and off. Does have the anti-reverse, not so common these days in spinning reels, pretty unnecessary. It's a really nice size as well, typical 1000 size, so it's not off like some reels can be with the size. Pretty light as well. What I really like with this, which is a nice touch, is you get a free sticker. And this is quite handy, you get these little line markers so you know exactly what braid or line you've put on, which I guess you put on the box and then maybe cover the last sticker, or I don't know. I'm sure there's a good way of using those. About the brand itself, initially I thought Kastking was just a generic cheap Chinese brand, but I looked into it and it seems like they now have headquarters in the USA. They even have a team of professional anglers that use Kastking. A lot of their reels are quite expensive now. They start at about £30–40, but some of the nice bait casters and spinning reels go into the hundreds. So I'm hoping that means it's evolved from the status of a AliExpress brand into potentially a legit brand moving forward. So time will tell. We're going to get this spooled up and give it a try on the weekend. I've got a big competition coming up, so going to try it then. Let's just have a quick look at what else I bought from Temu. I think I probably spent about $40. The reels are normally a bit more than that on their own, but I've got some lead drop shots. There's about 50 in there. I lose them quite a lot, so should last me at least 2 sessions. Kidding, that's probably a good, that'll get me through to the rest of the year. I think those are 5 gram. Got these Chebs. The initial look, the wire's way too thick for what I use them for. I normally use quite fine hooks on them, so these are only really going to work on a bigger hook pattern. Bootleg Whopper Plopper. Can't really comment on that until I fish it, see how it works. Looks fine. Bootleg Dark Sleeper, which is absolutely tiny, however that could be quite good for perch in the canal and in the locks, so we'll see how we get on with that. Some long shank hooks, look like a bit of an owner bootleg. I was hoping the eye would be bigger for Cheb, but they look okay. They've got a nice long shank, which is good for isome. I'm sure they'll fit on my smaller Chebs. Metal for jigging, looks fine, probably rust if I don't rinse it off. And last but not least, Extreme braid. I bought this nice luminous red braid for the reel. Says it's 500 meters, very doubt that. It's very light and it just looks like a spool that might have 200, 300 at most. We'll see anyway, we'll see how it goes, but I really like the color. I think that'll look great with the black of the reel, so I'm gonna get that spooled up now, give it a shot on the weekend. Hopefully there'll be a nice bit of footage to go with this video. So I've had about 2 weeks use out of the reel so far. Here you can see me just rock fishing alongside this slipway and amongst the rocks for the creatures that live there. I find that because of the slight movement in the spool and the handle, that with this resistance-free method of fishing with little drop shots and tiny lures, you definitely notice the movement in the handle and spool a little bit more. But I have used it with chatterbaits, plugs, spinners, and when there's a bit of resistance in the lure, it really is a nice reel for that. You can't really feel the movement very much. I'm quite happy with it for the price. I mean, it's not a Vanford, but if your budget is, say, you know, up to about £60, I definitely recommend getting this. It only took about a week and a half to arrive. If you are really used to expensive, very smooth reels, then you're going to notice that this isn't one of those. My first fish was this nice bass and it handled it quite well. Drag was good, line lay was quite nice, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I recommend it if that's within your budget.